everyone, I'm Ritika from Management List, and in this video I'm going to talk about a very interesting concept, that is you can get data from Confluence Pages to your web applications, mobile applications, basically your business applications. Imagine that you have a web application where you want to show some information to your users. How good it would be if you can get that particular information always from your Confluence Pages. That way, the information will always have the right stats and will be available every time. Before we proceed further, let me tell you that this is a sponsored video. In this video, I'm going to talk about an app called Embedder for Confluence, and it is developed by Embedder Private Limited. Embedder have developed some of the very useful apps in the past, and this time also they have done a good job. Throughout the video, I will talk about the different widgets you can configure with your mobile or web applications to show the information. Also, there are multiple configurations available which you can use to make changes in the text, size, type of widgets, etc. So let's get started and see what is there in the app for us. Okay, so let's start with where to find this app and how to integrate it with Confluence. So, since it is an app that has to be integrated with Confluence, therefore I'm on my Confluence homepage, and to find and integrate this app, what you have to do is click on Apps, select Find New Apps. Let's type the name of our app, that is Embedder for Confluence. Let's click on Embedder for Confluence. Since we are looking for a free trial, we'll hit on this Try It for Free button. And after that, you have to pay some amount over a period of time. We'll talk about that as well towards the end of the video. For now, let's just click on this Try It for Free. Now let's hit this button, Start Free Trial. And after that, the work will be done to embed the app with your Confluence page. Let's see how it looks once it has been embedded with your Confluence. Now once the app has been installed, we can go to the space settings under a Confluence space. Click on Integrations. Now let's click on Embedder for Confluence. Now here is the place where we can create different widgets to showcase our Confluence content in our web applications or mobile applications. So Embedder for Confluence by Embedder allows you to create three different types of widgets: inline, floating panels, and pop-ups. To have a better idea about it, we can go to the live demo page and see how it looks. I'll paste this link in the description as well. So this page shows what kind of widgets will be available by Embedder for Confluence. So the first one which I'm going to show is a floating panel. If I click on any of these buttons, I can see one panel has opened and it is a floating panel. So this kind of floating panel you can add to the places where you want to show your Confluence content. Then let's close it. Next one is inline widget, that is within your application. An inline widget will become visible where you can showcase your content, which will be a part of, look like, or be inline to your application only. Next one is a pop-up widget, and let's click on it and see how it looks. So we can add a pop-up window like this as well to our applications to provide the information from our Confluence pages. Let's create one of the panels over here. So we'll see how easy or difficult it is to create these widgets using Embedder for Confluence. So I'm going back to our integrations page, and here we have this Add Widget button. I'll just click on it. And what they have done is they have provided different settings, and it is something like that. First, you will encounter the widget settings that will be common to whatever kind of widget you will be creating. The next one are the settings for the look and feel of just the floating panel and pop-up panel. So this is something which will not be shown for the inline widget. And then next is something specific for the floating panel, and in the next section as we move down we can see that they have provided something which is specific for only inline embedded content. So in my opinion, it's quite easy to create these panels. We just have to provide the names and then some of the look and feel descriptions and configurations, and with just that we can get the JS code of these widgets which we can directly add to our web applications and get these widgets available on our applications or the places where we want to show our content. Here I am creating a floating panel. Let's give it a meaningful name. So here we can specify if we want the search to be enabled or not, and then let's write out something for the search box placeholder. Then we can provide the widgets with some labels. Let's give it a name dummy. Then this is default widget page where you can provide the landing page on the Confluence. Let's say I want to make this one as a landing page. Now they have provided some more configurations like that, whether you want to search for a restricted page or you want to allow the search for the entire space. If you want to restrict it, we can provide the name of our pages and only the descendants of this ancestor page will be shown in the search results. Then there are some more configurations like do you want to load the page directly or not, then do you want to search pages by text or title, and whether you want to make search possible by query matching. Then one of the configuration is whether you want to display page titles as links that will be opened in a new tab, that whether you want to show the page titles as links which will be opened in the new tab. Then they're asking us whether you want to show an additional button in the footer or not. If we go back to our live demo page, we can see that in their widgets, we can see this button in the footer. This is the button they are talking about here. If we want that, we can say yes. And if we say yes, then maybe they will ask for some more information like what text we want to show, what URL that will be associated with. For now, I'm keeping it as no. Then there are some visibility rules over here. I won't be going into those details. Then next are the look and feel for the floating panel and pop-up panel. I want to launch this widget as an info icon and I want to make the colors as per my requirement, and this is how you can go ahead make the color changes which suits more to your applications. So I've made the changes as per the floating panel because for this video we'll be showing how a floating panel looks like, and we can make the changes over here. The background color, the widget launcher, button text color, then header text color, footer button text color, etc, etc. Then since it's a floating panel, I can make the configuration changes over here as well. That do we want to expand this panel by default or not? Then should we allow a full widget height or not? So all these things we can configure over here, and this section I'm leaving as it is because currently we'll be seeing how a floating panel looks like. Now just click on save. The widget has been saved successfully now. So it was quite simple to create this information. Now I just need to copy this code. To copy code, I have to click on this button copy code and select the floating panel option and to see how it will look like on our websites or applications, let's see a demo on jsfiddle.net. I'm opening it now, and here we will paste what we copied just now. Just hit the run button, and here we can see that an information icon is shown over here. If I click on it, a floating panel will open over here. So I think it's pretty easy. We just need to do some configurations, and then we can get the code which we can copy and use it at the places wherever we want to show our Confluence content. So in jsfiddle.net we got an idea of how it will look. So similar configuration I have done to my website. We can see there as well how actually it will look in real websites. So I'm going to my website, that is managementbliss.com. Now the site has been opened. On the bottom right we can see this information icon. Let's click on it, and we have this floating panel available over here, and the size of the panel, color of the panel, and all those things. Whether we want to show a button over here, all those things we can configure in the embedder for Confluence app. So it will be really help if you want to show some extra content to your users. Users at times have a lot of questions and which remain unanswered, or that particular information which they are looking for is just in your Confluence pages. It's not being transferred or provided to your users. So this is how you can engage your users, by giving them the right content, the right information at just the right time when they need it. And as we saw, it's not a difficult task. It's quite easy to get this content from your Confluence pages. So this is a real world use case. This is how it will look in your web applications, websites, etc. Now if I close this panel, again this information icon will be shown over here. If I click on it, again the panel will get opened. Okay, so this looks good and quite useful. So to get whatever information you require from Confluence at your desired application. Similarly, the other two widgets also work the same way. Let's look at them as well in brief. So what I'll do is I'll go back to Embedder for Confluence page, and I'll click on this edit. And here in the right hand side, if you see, we have got these scripts under each panel. Like for floating panel, under floating panel we have got this script. Here also, from this copy code button, we can copy the respective scripts. Like for inline embedded widget, I can copy code for this script, and similarly for pop-up. Now we launched the floating panel as an info icon. I can do the same using a question mark icon and a custom text icon. Let's see how it looks as a question mark icon. And now let's also make few changes compared to what we did earlier. So I'm making a few changes just to see what variety we can have. And there are different options for launching the widgets. So we launched it as info icon. Now I'm launching it as question mark icon, and we'll just see how the pop-up panel and inline looks like. So on the JSFiddle we'll be doing that. So currently I am trying to launch a pop-up panel, and it will be small in size. Nothing more I'm changing. Maybe I can change a little bit of colors, footer text, and what I have to do is just click on this save button. Okay. Again, I have to copy the code. So one thing you might have noticed, that whenever you make the configuration changes, so if the changes are common to floating panel, pop-up panel, or inline embedded, all these scripts will be regenerated and From here, we can copy any of these scripts. For now, I'm copying the pop-up. It says that it has been copied successfully. So let's go to JS Fiddle again. And I'll paste what I copied just now. And then just click on this Run button. And here we can see that this question mark icon has come up. Earlier we saw an eye icon that was an information icon. Now we have an option to launch the widget as a question mark icon as well. So okay, let's click it. And we made some changes, right? The color changes are reflecting here, and this is a pop-up panel. Now let's make few more changes and let's see how it looks. I'll go back to Embedder for Confluence. Again, click on this edit. And let's say now I want to show it as a custom text. And I want to change the widget launcher text also. So I can make these kind of changes over here. Let's say I'm changing it to helpful content. Just for the demonstration purposes, I'm doing that. Okay. And red as a header text color was not that good. So I'm changing it to very light green. Okay. So now save it. I'll again copy that pop-up panel code and going back to JS Fiddle. So here is a place where you can go around and see how it will look, and then finally make the changes to your particular web application, mobile application, etc. So again, just paste and hit a run. So now we saw that it has been launched as a text. Again, click it and the same panel is opened. Okay, so now before moving forward, let's see inline embedded as well. I'll go back to Embedder for Confluence. Again, click on edit. Make a little bit of changes. Let's say I want to see header, footer as well. Okay, I want to see iframe border as well. Okay, let's save it. Copy the code. Go to the JS Fiddle again. Again, hit the run button after pasting the new code. And this is how you can see that your inline embedded panel will look like. So we have multiple choices of widgets. We have multiple ways to launch the widget, and then we can add more links over here for the Confluence pages. So moving on and on, we can show as much as data as we want from our Confluence page. Now let's also have a look into the pricing details and other details. Again, I'll move on to Atlassian Marketplace. We have come to the page Embedder for Confluence. Here is the place where we can get more information about this app by Embedder Technologies Private Limited. So we have multiple tabs over here, and if you want to know more about this app in brief, then you can look under this overview tab, and here you can get the overview of this app, like what it is all about, then how can you quickly access it, what are the security level details, etc, etc. Now I'm going to the pricing tab, and here is what we want to know, that is what will this app cost. So currently I have switched on the product billing cycle monthly one, but they also have an annual billing cycle. So let's talk about the monthly one first. Let's say I have only 10 users or under 10 users who will be using this app, then I just have to pay a very nominal fees, that is $4 per month to use this app. Let's say if you have a bigger business, the cost depends directly on the numbers of users who will be using this app. Similarly, if we see that there's an annual billing cycle as well, and here also the cost depends on the number of users. So this is how the pricing works. Then let's also see what kind of support we can get. Here we can see they have a contact number. Now, if I click on this documentation, then I can see that there are a lot of other links available over here, which are quite useful if you want to gain knowledge about this app. This is the live demo link, which we saw earlier in our video as well. Then there's a link if you want to use their service desk. I think a lot of information is provided. Apart from that, they have a support team as well, which can help in case required. So far, so good. In this video, we saw what is Embedder for Confluence app. It is developed by Embedder. I found this app quite useful if you want to reach out to your users. In the video, we saw how easy it is to install the app, how easy it is to make the configurations, get the script and use it within your websites or your web applications, mobile applications, etc. Well, now it's up to you guys to see what it is. I recommend to explore the app and find out how good it is for your project. That's all in this video. Thank you for watching the video, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, please consider subscribing. Bye for now.